It's been several months since the murder of Ted Shaughnessy. The police have gained enough confidence to arrest both Nicholas Shaughnessy and his wife Jacklyn for the murder of Nick's father. In the coming months, the police would arrest and charge both Johnny Leone and Arion Smith for being hired to perform the dirty deed. But at this time, the detectives are trying to figure out where Jacklyn fits into the plot. They've seen her text messages with Nicholas. They've seen her bank account where she withdrew large sums of money, potentially to pay a hitman. But the detectives find that Jackie may be a useful witness against Nick and his associates. Jacklyn has been right there during the transactions and the planning of the crime. So they decide to make a proffer agreement, an agreement that would be used in 2 separate interviews over the course of the next year. Those who know the case realize that she got an extremely light sentence in the end, a sentence that has been highly scrutinized by the mainstream media. But for the first time, we get a chance to judge for ourselves. Should she have been given this agreement? How much did she know or even plan? And to me, the most important question, will she tell the complete truth, or will her lies deserve further prosecution? We'll decide.
Okay. Come on in. You got whatever y'all want to do, that's fine. This one's for you. This is for you, Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Give us some more of those. Well, first of all, thank you guys. Okay, I know this is an ordeal for you, and it's taken a lot of time, a lot of thought, a lot of contemplation, I'm sure, on things. You have a pen, correct? Do you prefer Jackie or Jacklyn? Or? Jackie. Okay. So, just so I think you remember us, I'm Paul Salem, I'm a detective here with the Sheriff's Office. And this is James Moore. You might remember him as well. We're both detectives here. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, I think there were a couple things we want to do. Of course, I do want to inform you what your rights are. You know, your attorney is here, but I'll just inform you of what your rights are. And then I think you wanted to discuss the...
we want to execute the proffer and make sure that we're all on the same page.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the rights first, and then we'll go over the proffer, and then we'll talk about whatever we need to talk about, okay? All right.
The rights were read.
If you don't wish to be here and speak with us, that is your right. Just let us know that, okay? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I borrow your pen?
And so just one thing about that, because even though that's the standard Miranda right, we have changed the circumstance with the execution and the contract between us and the district attorney's office, in that this statement is protected under this proffer letter. And even though he said that any statement could be used against you, this particular statement cannot be because of the additional agreement.
Okay, very good. All right, well, so, again, thank you. All right. Not an easy decision to be made, okay? And trust me, everybody in this room understands that, okay? There's a couple things that I want to focus on, though, today. And to keep in mind here, I want us to think about 2 lives here, okay? The First is Jackie Edison. Okay, you're 19, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a lot of years ahead of you. I also want to focus on Ted. All right, Ted Shaughnessy. He's the reason why we're all here in this room. Okay. I think that you would probably agree that he didn't deserve what happened. Okay.
I really loved him like a father.
He's somebody who's supported you, okay, stood up for you on a number of occasions. Well, 103 days ago, he was murdered. So, I want us to do this for Ted, and I want us to do this for Jackie.
Okay.
Okay? You're in a situation that I don't think you want to be in anymore. Well, 15 of those days, of those 103 days, you have been in jail. But let's focus on the life of Jackie. Let's focus on the life of Ted. We can't bring Ted back. I'd love that. But beyond that, at least we can take a step in, I don't want to say make it right, we can go in the right direction. Okay? That's all I had to say really about that. And we're free to talk about whatever we need to talk about in here. There's no judgment in here. Okay? We're just four people sitting in a ring. All right? So, the big question that everybody would like to know is, did Nicholas hire somebody to kill his parents?
Yeah.
Who did he hire?
I don't know.
When did this come about?
Shortly after we got married, he asked me if I would stay with him if he ever murdered someone. And I said, no, that's not you. That's crazy. And he's all like, yeah, we're okay. A few weeks later, he mentioned how, this is how I remember it. These may not be word for word, but this is how I remember it. He would mention his dad was always sad and depressed, and he'd go to work 24/7 and then come home, and then, you know, he didn't like his life. I didn't see that, but Nick said he did. And he mentioned killing him to end that. And I said, I was just appalled. I said, this is my dad too. Like, I love him. You're not gonna kill him. That's crazy. That's stupid. What the fuck are you saying? And he's all like, okay, you're right. And he mentioned it again a few weeks later, like, oh, maybe both my parents should go. And I said, stop talking about this. Like, you're not, this isn't you. You love your parents. Like, we visit them every weekend. We have fun. We're family. I've always wanted what I had with them, and I didn't think Nick really had it in him to even think about it. And that's why I never took it as seriously as I should have. And that was like that for a while. He would just bring it up every few weeks. He would say how the picture might be better with his parents gone. And I thought that was a little weird. Not weird, but, you know, crazy. And almost absurd. But, again, I saw their relationship. He loved his parents, and they did everything for him. They gave him everything. You know, it's not like we needed the money. We wouldn't benefit from them being dead, except in his own mind and his own fantasy. That's what he wanted. And that's why I never took him seriously, because he loved them and I loved them, and we were a great family. And as time went on, he became more adamant about it, and he would bring it up more often, and he would talk about maybe shooting them in their house. And at that point, I said, look, this is fucking crazy. Stop. This isn't you. You're not a murderer. We're not. Just stop. Don't talk about it anymore. And I said, if you're gonna have these ideas, like he always has these ideas, oh, we're gonna get fancy, like this summer, we're gonna get a car that's like $200,000. And it's like, oh, okay, and it's great. He always did stuff like that. But this was another one of his dark fantasies, I guess you can say. Because he always had these crazy ideas, and he always talked about him, and I kind of just blew him off, like, oh yeah, one day we'll have nice cars and whatever.
So he talked specifically about shooting them in their house. What, like, why the house? Maybe why not the jewelry store, not on the way to work, on the way home?
I never asked. I just blew it off because I didn't think he was serious. And I said, okay, you're not doing this. Don't talk to me about it, okay? Don't bring it up, because I don't want to hear about it anymore. Because at this point, it was probably every week he would mention it. And then it stopped for a little bit, and he wouldn't mention it. And then one day he said, hey, I'm going to go to Austin this weekend, and I'm going to try to do it. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And the day came, and he's like, I'm going to go tonight. And I said, no, you're staying right here. You're not going anywhere. Just stop it out of your head. And he said, no, like, I'm going to go. Do you want to come with me? And I thought, well, if I come with him, I can make sure he won't do it. So we went to Austin one night. I don't know the date. I believe it was before January. And we went and we sat outside the house in my car. And he's like, yeah, let's just go home.
So how was he going to do it?
He was going to go into the house somehow with a gun and shoot them. I didn't ask details because, again, I didn't think that this was a real plan that he actually thought through. I thought this was a little something in his mind.
So you guys drove from College Station to Austin and drove back?
Yes. And I never took it seriously. I went with him. He wanted me to go with him, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I know he's not going to do it. And we went home, we stopped at Buc-ee's, and we went back to the house, and I skipped school that day, and it was kind of like a road trip. And the next week, he wanted to do it again. And at this point, I was like, okay, this is going to be a normal thing, like trips to Austin at night. And so we went another once or twice after that.
For that purpose?
He did for that purpose. In my head, it was kind of just like, yeah, let's take a road trip. I'll sleep in the car, and if he is going to do something crazy, then I'll be there to make sure he doesn't do it.
Does he have a gun?
Yeah, he has a few.
Okay. But I mean, during this time, during these trips, he has a gun?
Yes. He always carries a gun in the car.
Is it the same gun?
No.
Okay. So he carries just different guns.
Yeah, and then after that, he didn't mention it for a while, like a month or two. And I was starting to think, oh, good, he's getting it out of his head. He's realizing that this is stupid. And like we continued to go to the house on the weekends and spend time with his parents and have fun. And I just thought, I just thought it was another one of his crazy things, and his crazy ideas, and now I look back and I feel guilty that I didn't take it seriously, because it's not the man that I knew.
As we head to our first commercial break, now I'm not going to say where I stand on this particular thing, but there is a discussion, a debate that's in the country right now about whether kids that are around the 18 years old, 19 years old should vote. Okay. She's 19 and he's telling her over and over and over again, I want to take out my parents. I want to kill my parents. We're going to do this. We're going to do this weekend. No, we're going to do it the next weekend. This person could vote for your president. This doesn't help the case. I'm just saying it doesn't help the case.
I mean, he loved them and he got everything, and I don't understand, but anyway.
So other than his dad, him thinking that his dad was miserable, what other reason would he have to do this? What was expressed to you?
That was what was expressed to me. He knew that they had a $1 million life insurance policy each, but he told me it wasn't about the money.
Okay.
And he suspected that he would be looked into. He told me that, I don't think life insurance will pay out anyway because of these suspects. And I was like, well, yeah. But, again, crazy joke. Didn't take it seriously. I should have, but I didn't. And so as time went on, he told me that he can't do it himself, so he's going to find someone to do it. And I was like, what?
So when do you think this was?
Late February?
Of 2018?
2018.
So this year?
Yes.
And who was he going to get?
I don't know, and I don't think he knew either. And he would talk about how he's going to find someone to do it because he couldn't. And so he would go out to the bars or to parties. It's a college town, and he went out once or twice a week. I always stayed home because I don't like that stuff. And whenever I hung out with friends, he was there. So I just stayed home, and I usually went to bed early when he went out. And one night he said he's gonna go. He's gonna, or no. First he mentioned that he'd met someone that said that they would do it, and I was like, oh, how much? Because again, I thought this was a game, because I was stupid and I was a teenager, and I didn't think this through, and I didn't think that he was serious. I can't express that. I didn't think he was serious, and so I played along. I did, and he said, oh, maybe 50,000, maybe 100,000, all this stuff, and I was like, where the fuck are we gonna get this money from? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. So he said one night that he was going to meet the person that was gonna do it. And that night, I forget how the conversation went, the text conversation, but I was like, okay, do they want 50 or not? Hoping not. Hoping that he'd realized we don't have this money and that this is just a stupid idea in the first place, and just to forget about it, like I thought he did. And he just kept saying, like, I'm working on it, don't worry about it. And I was like, well, I mean, we can't even afford to put half.
This is what you told him.
This is what I told him. And then he's like, I'm trying, but I'm trying. And I said, well, okay, maybe they'll do it for 10. And I went to sleep. I was tired. I wanted to shut him up. I was playing his game. And yeah, I said, you know, maybe they'll do it for 10, whatever. Because I didn't think this was actually going to happen, and I was playing along. And to be honest, if I really did believe that was going to happen, why would I be texting him about it? Because I never thought that it would come to this at all. And either a few days or a week later maybe, it was a Tuesday night, and he said that he's going to go to Austin one more time again to try it himself. And I thought it was going to be the same thing, and I said I would test tomorrow. I'm not going with you. Like, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna go. He's gonna sit in the car and come back home. So I was like, okay. I was tired. Like, just go do what the fuck you want. Because I was tired of it. I was tired of him talking about this. And when someone repeats something so crazy to you over and over and over again for months, almost a year now, you become numb to it, and it doesn't really register. So Tuesday night, he said he went to Austin, and I was up all night, and I was worrying, and I thought, what if he is serious? What if he's going to do something stupid? What if he accidentally gets shot by his parents thinking someone's going to break into their house? And I was worrying all night, and he finally came home, and he's like, yeah, no, I didn't do it. And I was like, thank God, and I was crying, and I said, you need to fucking get out of this, okay? This isn't going to happen. It's not real. You need to get your mind off of it. Just, okay? Like, please, because this is serious. If you're serious about this. He's like, I know, Jackie, like, I'm sorry, I should have never talked about it. I should have never, all that stuff.
So when was this in relation to when Ted was murdered?
2 days before.
2 days before.
So no mention of it. And then this was Friday morning. I woke up, he was on his phone, and I saw that he was on the alarm app, looking at the cameras. And I said, why are you up? And he said, oh, I missed a call from Kim. Something's wrong. And I saw that there were a bunch of police at the front door. And almost immediately he got a call, and it was his mom saying that Dad's been shot. And I didn't realize what happened until we got in the car, and I thought that this was, he was serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I've never had anything like this before. It's just so overwhelming and so crazy. I still can't wrap my head around it.
So you guys get in the car, and you obviously, for 2 hours, you're not sitting in silence. What are you talking about?
Just, oh my God, Dad's dead. We didn't talk about the fact that he did it in the car ride there. It wasn't until afterwards. Can I have a second with him?
Yeah, sure.
You go back in the little room.
If you'd like to,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Whatever you... No, they're going to meet.
So she goes and takes a break, but we don't get to see the face of the detective that's in front of her. It's almost like he gave her a look like, really? Really? Like, you know you lying, right? And she knows she can't be lying in this thing. And it's almost like she's self-snitched.
I'm not really into college football or anything.
She's in 99% of her life is dieting and working out.
Kinda. I mean,
I'm gonna run.
y'all don't, okay.
I know all your life. I've come through every
You probably saw my, like,
facet of your
before
life.
and after pictures on my phone and everything. Yeah.
I've seen everything. Yeah, we gotta wait till Bill gets back.
Okay.
Just out of respect for him.
He's like, 99% of your life's dieting and lifestyle. Like, you saw everything on my phone, all my dieting stuff, and my before and after
She's
photos.
probably the only person I know that researches that much diet and stuff as much as I
And all
do.
the
I
recipes
should have
I,
so many dieting things online.
all the recipes I Google.
I'm glad you feel that way. Okay. Everybody good?
Yeah, sorry, I really, we didn't talk about it, and I honestly, I don't remember, because I was such in shock. That whole entire day, I was in shock.
Okay.
And I don't think we talked about it that day. But I knew he did. I mean, it's not just coincidence that after months of talking about it, something happened.
Was his behavior different that day versus
He was
other days?
very closed out to the world, no emotion, and he gets like that sometimes. It's a little weird, but he's always done that, and
Okay.
it was a crazy day, and I don't like to remember it.
It was a crazy day for a lot of people.
But I mean, the hardest part was after it. But you know, just living with Corey, and every single day how she would cry about Ted and how she hated his murderers and how she would blame y'all when really I knew that it was her son, and that killed me. And it was so emotionally devastating that I just shut it out, and you don't even think about it. You just put your head in the sand and just keep going. And it was just, you know, you tell yourself a lie so much, you start to believe it, you know, that's like, oh, we didn't have anything to do with it, and like we're just here to support our mom and live with Nick's mom while she's grieving.
Now, most of you know the story about this case, but for those of you who don't know, they actually moved in with the mom after the murders. That's some crazy work.
But they would, every single night, like, they would be in the kitchen figuring out, like, what happened here, and I just couldn't be there because I knew. And Nick didn't seem to have a problem with it, talking about it, but I couldn't.
When you say they, you mean Corey and Nick?
Yes. Yeah, I knew at that time that it was him, but we hadn't talked about it until a few days later, and I said, like, who did you pay? Like, how much did you pay someone? And he said he didn't. Oh, let me go back. Before Thursday night, maybe a week before, a few days before, he told me that he gave one of his friends $1,000 for financial help. And of course this pissed me off. I said, you don't just give one of your friends $1,000 without consulting your wife. And I don't know where he got this. I mean, we transferred cash all the time between my account and between our joint account and between our savings, so I don't know where it came from. And then after that, I realized that, you know, the $1,000 probably went to this guy. And I said, because I know that he was talking numbers like $50,000, $10,000, $100,000, and I said, what did you pay him? Like, where are you getting this money? And he said he didn't give him anything, and because of that, he's scared that they're going to come back. And then a few days later, he got a text, and he showed me the text, and it said something along the lines of, we know where you live, you better pay up. Like a threat. And I was like, what the fuck did you get yourself into? This is fucking serious.
So that's on his cell phone?
Yes. It will probably show up on the one that Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, he got the text after that day, so after he took our photos the first time. Yeah, and he showed me that text, and I was like, what the fuck are you thinking? And he was really scared that they were gonna come back for him. But at that point, they said, he was like, oh, I'm not worried because it says we know where you live. They think, or he or they, I don't know. He mentioned they, but I only knew one person. I only knew there was one person.
Now, I'm going to replay that part for you because I'm breaking in right there in the middle of that. I'm going to replay that so you can catch that because this is a long video and that's going to come back later on. And I think in my case against her, if I'm sitting there, armchair prosecutor, I don't like that statement right there. I only know one person, one of them. Then she changes it.
But I only knew one person. I only knew there was one person. I didn't know the person. You know what I'm trying to say? He mentioned they, and the text said we, and I said, we? Like, what? And, yeah, he said he didn't pay them anything. And...
It sounds like you guys didn't have the money to pay them anyway.
Available, no. I don't know how much he had in his trading account, but I know I can't go to my trust and say, hey, can I have $50,000? I need receipts for everything. I can't just do that. And we didn't have that readily available to us. And that's another reason why I thought that this wasn't a reality, because, you know, you don't just find a contract killer on the streets that's going to do it for $1,000. I mean, apparently, maybe so, but at the time, you know, I thought, no, it doesn't happen like that. But
so you don't know what friend this is.
I have no idea.
You just said a friend.
He said he was meeting someone that said he would do it. I don't know if they were previously friends before. I don't know if he met some random guy and said, hey, you want to murder someone? I don't know. And I don't even know if this guy... See that it makes me angry because I want to find him too, and I want him to get justice too, but I wasn't involved in any of that. All I knew was there was a guy.
Okay. And
But
you're saying you didn't meet anyone.
I didn't meet anyone. I didn't get any names. I don't know.
Okay. So as far as, all right, so you say no money was exchanged as far as what Nick told you. What about the guns? Because you probably are aware there's a couple of guns involved.
He told me that, so I don't know guns very well. I really don't. And he told me that he used to have a .40 caliber, but he gave it to his dad, and a .40 was used. And I was like, well, doesn't that look bad for you? But I asked him what it was. He's like, I asked Corey what it looked like, and she said it's just a ugly, regular black gun. It's like, yeah, I've seen that at Corey's house before. I've seen black pistols, but I don't know the difference. And I know that he had 2 XDS pistols in our house at the time, but I didn't, guns went in and out. So I don't know about that.
Okay. You know about him furnishing gun or guns or ammunition to anybody?
Giving it to anyone?
Mm-hmm.
He gave a .380. It was a really little gun, and I actually shot it at the range before too. It was a little .380, and he gave it to his friend Spencer because Spencer wanted a gun, and his dad wouldn't allow him to have one. So Nick said, hey, here's a tiny one, a tiny pistol, like, I don't really like it, so you can have it. And he gave it to Spencer. I don't know at what time frame this was. I think it was January or February.
Of this year.
Yes.
So we did have opportunity to meet Spencer. Were there any conversations about this, about Nick wanting his parents dead
No.
with Spencer?
So, in the car one day, Spencer and Nick and I were, we'd hang out, and, he married us. We were friends, and
Any particular reason why, Spencer?
he was an ordained minister, and we wanted this date of 7. It's kind of stupid. I was a teenager. No judgment, right? Yeah, and we wanted someone to do it that day, and Spencer was already certified online, so we kind of just signed the papers.
So anyway, there was a
Yeah.
time where the three of y'all
So yeah,
were in the car.
so there was a time where 3 of us were in the car, and then I forget what we were talking about, but Nick was talking about something, and then he mentioned, like, a different plan, like, winking at me, and I knew what that was. And then he's like, oh, don't worry, Spencer already knows about it. And I was like, you told Spencer this crazy shit too? I didn't say this, but I said it later. And he's like, yeah, I told Spencer that I wanted to do this. And I said, and I was thinking to myself, like, why are you telling all these people? Like, this isn't you, this isn't going to happen, this isn't true. Why are you going around telling people? And he's like, no, I only you and Spencer know. And I was like, okay, cool, well, shut up.
And Spencer, in you saying Spencer knowing, you're talking about Nick's plan to have
Yes.
somebody kill his parents.
Mm-hmm.
Was Spencer asked to do that?
Not that I know of.
It's not in your presence.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular conversation in the car is in regards to that,
I believe so. Yes.
when he's talking about the other plan.
Yes. I don't know what time frame this was. But yeah, and then he told me afterwards but this was a few months ago. This was before New Year's, I think. I'm not gonna say that for sure. I don't know what time frame this was, but yeah, we were in the car at some point, and he told me that Spencer already knows, and then afterwards I confronted him about it, and I was like, you need to stop telling people this crazy shit, because it's not true, and someone's going to take it seriously.
What was his response?
The same response he always had, like, oh, okay, honey, you're right, I won't do it. Or when I mentioned, afterwards, when I fast forward to a week later after the murder, and I said, how are you expecting to pay these people? Like, what if they come back for us? Like, what the fuck are you going to do? He's like, oh, don't worry about it, I have it under control. So it was always kind of a dismissive response with him.
Is that why you put the lights up in the back?
Yeah.
Is that why you put the
Well,
cameras?
it's always been dark in that house, and he's always known that they needed more security. He always told his parents to turn the alarm on at night, but they never did. So, yeah, he put up more lights he put up more lights and cameras for the reason in case they came back.
As we head to our second commercial break, the irony of beefing up the security, improving the lighting in the back of the house to protect yourself from people who you hired to kill your father. That is irony there, my friends.
And his mom didn't want them to come back either, but for a different reason. Well, the same reason being that, where's my money, I'll kill you, but his mom was afraid that they had seen her and that they'd want to come back for her, and Nick was afraid that they would come for him because he didn't give them any.
So let's talk about Corey for a minute. What's her involvement in this?
She wasn't involved at all.
So she was a target.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Nick, in the beginning, when Nick would start talking about this stuff, he wanted his dad. He said he wanted his dad to be at peace, but he didn't want his mom to live without him, so they would go at the same time. And
So that'd be the reason why they're both dead.
yes,
Because one can't live without the other.
to my knowledge, that's what he tells me. That's what he told me. Yes. And then, but afterwards, he was saying how he was telling me how he's really glad that his mom survived, and how he doesn't know how he would do this without her, and that he felt bad. And I don't know if he truly regret it in his heart, because it seemed to me that he did, and he did cry because he missed his dad a lot. But I don't know if that was to me or if he really believed that.
So has he told her since?
She still doesn't.
Have you told her?
No. I know it's fucked up.
So, were there specific conversations with Nick? Like, for instance, do you remember when we came back to your house and before we went through the safe?
Yes.
Were there any conversations you had with Nick after we left in regards to us being there or anything like that?
No, but I remember when Corey was telling us that y'all were coming to the house, and Nick was kind of like, "Oh, why they don't need to come? Why do they need to come? Like, don't worry about it. You know, like they're investigating me. Why don't you understand that? All this stuff." And she's like, "Well, I just want to try to help." And then after you came, she kind of freaked out because y'all were investigating her son, and she firmly believed that that was a waste of time and that it would never be her son, and she put the anger towards you because, you know, she's like, "Oh, they're not asking all the right questions." She thought it might have been the people next door, mistaken identity, maybe an attempted robbery. And, you know, I was kind of just like, yeah, maybe. Cause I can't, I was such in shock. It's such a, I can't explain it. I mean, I really do love her, and she's a mother to me, and it's hard to know that her son actually did this when she's talking about it. And I hate him for bringing me into that. And I'm angry because I'm in jail, I have no money left, and I'm here because of him.
You know, her attorney is cold-blooded. When she said, "I don't have any money left," her attorney's probably just sitting there thinking, "Yeah, she ain't got no money left because of me."
Because I made stupid mistakes.
So we're taking steps, right? Like
Yeah,
we talked about.
I'm moving in with my dad. I'm going back to school. My mom wants me to move back with her to New Jersey, but I don't really want to. But yeah, I'm getting away from that.
Okay.
Now, the next couple minutes of this is my Exhibit B, my case against her, because this next little exchange about Nick's last trip to Austin, it's something that I'm looking at a little side-eyed about. I would say crooked eye, but y'all might make fun of me if I say that.
So, let's talk about the last time before the murder that you said Nick went to Austin, or came to Austin. He come by himself?
Yeah, that I know. He said he was.
How long was he gone?
Four or 5 hours? I was kind of half asleep, so I'm not really sure. But He said he drove there, he waited in the car, realized he couldn't do it, came back.
Did he see his parents then? Like, did he talk to them? Did he?
No.
Anything like that? So it wasn't like a visit.
No, but I know.
And he drove his car?
He took my car. He took my Audi. We never really drove the GTI, we always really took that car, but. When I went with him in Austin the first 2 or 3 times, he made me wrap my phone in tinfoil to make sure that, cell towers or whatever. And it was just a game to me, so I kind of just went along with it. But I'm just letting you know that, so when you look at my records and it shows that I'm not lying if it's not coming up. But I turned my phone on the way home because, I knew it. He's like, oh yeah, make sure your phone's off and wrap it in this tin foil, because I was gonna go to sleep anyway. And then on the way home, I was like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm gonna play my phone.
What do y'all think? Was she in that car?
And would he do the same thing? With the phone?
Yeah, he wrapped his phone in tin foil. But I turned it back on in Austin on the way home. I don't know if he did.
And does he have more than one phone? Did we already talk about it?
No, he just has the iPhone that I know of.
All right. Well, I want to make sure we talk about everything we need to talk about. One thing is, did you have a visitor at your house that same night?
That same night, no. The Tuesday night, yes. One of his friends, I know him as DJ Adonis. He's a DJ in the bars. And he came over for dinner. We've been planning this a few weeks. He came over for dinner, and he was very sweet. He was very nice. This wasn't him. I don't suspect it of him. But he was talking about his kids, and, we were talking about, I made him salmon because he's a pescatarian, and I don't know, I thought that was kind of weird.
You relate to that, or?
Yeah. No, it was fine, and Nick always introduced me to his friends. Like, he wanted me to go out at night, and I would go to the bars with him sometimes, and it wasn't really my thing, so kind of just sat in the corner. But, he introduced me to people. But no one that stood out to me. It's all just college kids.
And these are people he meets when he goes out. How does he go to a club? He's not 21.
He has a fake ID, but he doesn't use it. Instead, he just walks in, because he's good with talking to people, and he knows people, and he started being friends with the bouncers, and then the bouncers would let him in. But there's people that were in my classes that were in the bars too. It wasn't uncommon for people underage to be drinking there. Yeah.
So Adonis comes over, and you guys have dinner.
Mm-hmm. Well, he told me about this Netflix documentary. Because I was like, why are you a pescatarian? Like, what was weird? And he said, oh, well, I watched this Netflix documentary about how food in America is so bad and all this stuff. And then when Nick was gone that night, I watched it on Netflix because I was worried and I couldn't sleep. But we didn't really talk about anything serious. We talked about TV shows, and, he said he has a gig at the Cottages the next week and how we should go to it, and how, yeah, definitely, we're planning to go to it. And I was looking forward to spending the summer there. And even Nick and I, we renewed our lease, and we talked about staying there and how much fun it was going to be in the summer because everyone was gone, and we had the whole pool. So, we were making plans, and that's why that's another reason I didn't think he was really going to go through with this, because he would always talk about, like, he would call the dealership nonstop about buying a Yukon Denali for $60,000 maybe, and he was talking about putting Brembos on it, putting a 4-inch lift on it, and like seriously, all this stuff. And I never took it seriously because I knew we didn't have that money, and if we did, that would be a dumb decision to buy a brand new car right now. I mean, we're in college, and like, let's get our life together first. And he would call dealerships about buying a GT4, and he put together a whole price list, came out to like $100,000 for buying a Denali. And he was serious about it, and he was serious about it in his mind, but again, I knew, I was like, yeah, like, that's cool. I knew, because he's not going to buy it. Because he gets an idea in his mind, and he thinks that he wants to do it, right? And he wants to go through with it. But again, buying cars and murdering your parents are completely different. So I never took it seriously. I thought it was just another one of his deals.
But there was a time where his parents gave him a large sum of money, right?
Yes. That was last December.
2017.
Yes. I think his mom gave him $30,000 because that was what was going to go towards his college fund, and his mom finally gave up and said, all right, you're not going to college. And he said he wanted the money to invest because that's how he's making money, through online investments. You might have seen a recording on my phone. He recorded the conversation for me because I was in New Jersey at the time, and he recorded the conversation between him and his parents, and they were fighting, but not screaming fighting. It was mostly just his mom crying about how she gave him this money, and she expected money in return, but he wasn't paying her. In other words, his mom was an investor, and his mom wanted him to pay his car insurance and X amount of money a month from this investment that she gave him to help him further what he wanted to do. And he wasn't paying that. I didn't know that. So that kind of exploded at this time, and then that's when I called Ted and I said, look, please, like, give him a second chance. Like, he doesn't get it. I'll talk to him. So he ended up paying her back all the money that he owed her from the past few months, which was a few $1,000s.
So where is that? You said 30,000. Where is that?
In his trading account.
Trading. You think it's still there?
That's a sore subject with him. Because I asked him, like, hey, how's business doing? Like, you making money? He's like, yeah, but I never see him on the computer. So I don't know how much is in that account. He says it's you know, more than 30,000, I'd assume, but he never talked about it. And he transferred. I said, like, hey, like, you need an extra 1,000 for this bill next month, and he'd do it, and he'd say, okay, I'm going to transfer it from my trading account. But I kind of floated the bills, and it kind of made me mad at one point. But whenever I mentioned finances to him, he'd get mad and say, like, oh, just help me out this one time, you know, I bought everything for you, like, our first year of dating, like, just help me, please, like, just this once, like, we'll get back on our feet. So I think he was losing it.
That's not something he told you, though.
You didn't talk to me like that.
So let's talk about what he's told you to say if you talk to us, or if you're asked about this case. What's he told you to say?
In the first day I was interviewed, or at this point? You're saying this past 12 weeks?
Well, let's talk about when this first happened. What did he tell you?
We never talked about it. We never did, because, you know, he didn't think this through, obviously, and I didn't think he was serious about it. So when the detective was in here interviewing me, I was my defense mode went up, and I was like just defending him. That no, he would never kill his parents. Like, I don't know the deal, and I really don't know a lot of things. I don't know about the guns. I don't know a lot about his finances, and that's really all he was asking me. And then the past 12 weeks, he just kind of told me, like, don't talk to the detective. And I said, well, what if this gets serious? What if I'm going to go to jail? And he's like, well, if it comes to that point, then yeah, I'll admit it was all me. But he still didn't take it seriously. He still didn't believe that he was going to be arrested because it was 12 weeks later. And I said, why would they be doing all this stuff? They weren't planning on arresting you. I didn't expect to be arrested, honestly. And then when I did, I don't know what he's thinking, but I mean, I just came to the point where it's like I can't cover for him anymore, because I did everything I can to stop him, and I tried to stop him, but I regret not taking him seriously, but at the same time, I'm here, and I don't want to go to jail for him.
So did he think he was going to get arrested?
Yeah, it kind of died down after the first few weeks, and then y'all would come back with a search warrant, and then he would freak out again, and I don't know, it was kind of on and off. He was always like, yeah, well, he was always paranoid. He was always wondering when y'all would come arrest him. That's really it. He was just kind of scared.
But he was convinced he was going to be arrested.
I think he hoped that he wouldn't, and I think he might have believed that he wouldn't, because again, he didn't think this was a big deal. But I said, you're probably, see, that's where I was confused, because I thought he was going to be arrested the first few weeks. And then, 8 weeks go by, 10 weeks go by, and I thought, oh, maybe not. Like, I don't know. And then y'all did. But yeah, we definitely saw it coming.
So you're staying in that room, in the, where you were staying in the bedroom, with the window. It's now all boarded up. Did he leave that unlocked on purpose?
No. We were there the weekend of February 11th. We went out to Trulock's to celebrate him and his dad's birthday. And that was the last weekend we were there. And I always lock the window, and he always locks the window. I always make sure the window is locked, because they don't put on their alarm at night, and I'm scared someone's going to break in. But the window was always locked, and if I ever saw it unlocked, I would lock it again. And Corey had mentioned that she put in the screen the following weekend, and that it was left unlocked, that it must have been her or Ted. And I think that's true, because if they were there after us, they definitely would have locked it. And if it was unlocked, then it would be them that opened the window last. But I also think that maybe the person or people that broke in unlocked it from the outside. But I don't know.
So about a year later, Jackie is brought back into the station for the second half of this proffer. It's a whole year after this. And they have found the shooters, or who they believe are the shooters, in Arion and in Johnny. And they need her to come in because they're really trying to tie this thing together. And they're going to ask her questions. Maybe some of them we've already heard. It's going to be very interesting to see. Are there any inconsistencies, or was she telling the truth?
So I want to start off with this here. That's an account that belongs to you in the withdrawal that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you recognize that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you recognize the date?
Yes. That was when Nick wanted me to withdraw $1,000 for one of his friends, because his friends needed money, or something like that. And I recall talking about this, but just, it's been a while, so.
Totally understand. It's just whatever you remember.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so,
just remember he wanted me to take out $1,000 cash, said his friend needed it, and he probably would have, in lack of better words, given me shit for it if I hadn't, because he didn't want to touch the money that was in his trading account, because there was none. But
okay.
Now, this was her a year before when asked about this money transfer. This is what she said a year before.
before Thursday night, maybe a week before, a few days before, he told me that he gave one of his friends $1,000 for financial help. And of course this pissed me off. I said, you don't just give one of your friends $1,000 without consulting your wife. And I don't know where he got this. I mean, we transferred cash all the time between my account and between our joint account and between our savings, so I don't know where it came from. Yeah.
So, do you recall how the conversation took place? Is it in person? Is it on the phone? What is it, if you remember?
I'm pretty sure it was over text,
Okay.
but I don't really remember specifics.
Okay. So this, see if this gives us a little bit of reference here. All right, this was at 4:30 p.m. on 2/28/18.
Okay. So I was out.
This just has the times and stuff on the process, the actual transaction.
Yeah, I don't think this would jog my memory anymore, but I mean, I would make cash transactions, like just withdrawals on the regular, whether it's just for spending or to pay bills. Like, I didn't have a job when we lived in College Station, so whatever my trust gave me was what I had.
Okay.
So that's how I blew through money so fast, but.
But your recollection is he says, hey, I have a friend.
Yeah, I remember this $1,000 because it was 2 days before it happened. So, looking back now, it's like, where did that go? Because.
So any other discussions about that specific $1,000?
No, not that I remember.
Okay. Is that something that he would ask you to do sometimes because friends need money?
He would ask me to withdraw cash a lot, but for friends, not very often. There was, I'm sure you know his friend Jordan. And I was close to Jordan too, and he didn't do that well financially, so I had no problem with him loaning him some money here and there, but it was never anything close to $1,000.
Okay.
But that's really all I can remember, because I'm not a big fan of loaning people money. Like, if they're my friends and they need it and I know they'll pay me back, then sure, but $1,000 is a lot, especially when we weren't in a great financial situation at that point in time. So.
All right. Anything else you remember about that?
I don't think so.
Some of the things I'm going to show you, I've got kind of like little snippets,
Okay.
just so it's not so bulky. Mm-hmm. And then some of these things are big, and so I may just show you on the computer. But so here's one of those, and I wanted to go over this kind of little text conversation if I can. So this is on 2/28. This is 14:25, so that'll be 2:25 in the afternoon. And it starts with Nicholas asking me, can you withdraw $1K from Prosperity? So I'm trying to read upside down. So if it
That's
happens,
okay.
something cash in hand, and then there's a correction to when. So what is this? So if what happens, what would that be referring to?
most likely, from what I can tell right now, is if his friend needed the money, he can have it for him. Can I? What time? 2:26.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm being kind of short. Like, yeah, if you need money, like, just drive me. I was probably in school. Because, like I said, like, he asked me to withdraw cash a lot, but...
Okay, so, and by saying if it happens...
If it happens, that's
What-
where
what
I'm
would
confused.
happen?
I don't know. I mean, what I would assume at this point is, like, if his friend needed the loan, or if...
Before Thursday night, maybe a week before, a few days before, he told me that he gave one of his friends $1,000 for financial help. And of course this pissed me off. You don't just give one of your friends $1,000 without consulting your wife. And I don't know where he got this. I mean, we transferred cash all the time between my account and between our joint account and between our savings, so I don't know where it came from.
I think his car was fixed by then, so it wouldn't be like he would need it to repair his car. But that's the best I can remember from it. I'm sorry if I can't give you a straight answer.
Okay, that's fine. I was kind of curious about the phrasing. Because
Yeah.
the phrasing would lead me to believe it's something more than just, this is, hey, I need $1,000 for a friend of mine.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I mean, if he came out to me and said, "Hey, I need $1,000 to hire someone for a murder," then he'd know I wouldn't do it. So that was honestly probably just an excuse. Because I believed him. Because I mean, you know, it's hard to explain my mindset at that time. Because, you know, like, if he wanted me to do something, like, I would either have to do it or go along with it, just, you know, to make him happy. So, because he was my life, like, he controlled my whole life. And looking back, like, I hate that I let him do that. But just emotionally, like, the fact that, you know, when he said, "Hey, can I have some of your money from your trust to pay rent or something," that I would just give it to him. So,
Okay.
I was just blind.
So that's, but a pretty normal, did you want to?
Yeah.
So that was a pretty normal thing
Mhm.
around that particular time. Okay, so do you recall that he drives you to the bank and you make the withdrawal?
I obviously signed the receipt, but I don't remember the trip, no.
Okay. So while we're talking about Nick, and I'm sure it's a sore subject, and I'm sorry to talk about it,
No, that's okay.
but it's very useful, very helpful. Okay.
Mhm.
What's the status of y'all's relationship, your marriage, whatever you want to
So,
call it?
I mean, it's coming up on a year since I last spoke to him.
Okay.
And, I mean, relationship-wise, I've moved on. But I filed for divorce in September, and, you know, I understand that legal proceedings take a while, so I'm being patient with it, but I'm waiting for that to be finalized, and then it can kind of just give me peace of mind. Just, you know, like, I'm kind of excited in a way to be on my own now and not to be so attached to someone else. Because, you know, like, I'm 20 now and I'm in college and I control my own life. Like, I'm getting straight A's and I'm not bound to him where I'm getting C's and only go to class when he wants me to. And I don't know, it's a good feeling.
Okay.
And I can hang out with who I want and have my friends and not really worry about him. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I do worry about him sometimes, but it's his, all of this is what happened was his decision, and he made the choices that led him to where he is, and I've come to terms with that. And again, like, I have regret that I had wished that I took him seriously so I could have helped, but I'm also coming to terms with that myself, so I don't hold that regret. So, in terms of our relationship, you know, I think if I had the chance to speak to him once again, I might, just for closure, but then part of me thinks I just don't. I just want to move on and just forget all about it. And I mean, I have closure, like, with Ted, because, I mean, he's my father and I loved him. And I know he's watching over me. But with Corey, it's different because I know she's still here, and I know, like, I mean, I hope she still feels the same way she does for me after all this may come out, but, like, she's still my mom and I still love her. So that's really where I struggle, is with Corey, because I can't speak to her, obviously, which is for the best, but that's really the only subject where I'm kind of wishy-washy about, if that makes any sense.
I understand. Has she tried to reach out to you at all? Or has Nick tried to
No.
reach out to you at all?
No.
Okay. Through directly or indirectly?
No. I mean, I changed my phone number and everything, and I live with my dad now, and we'd moved from where the last place my dad lived, so I don't see how he or Corey would know how to contact me.
Okay. So kind of while we're still on that subject, hopefully technology's on our side today and I can actually do this. You did get arrested and there was a period of time that you were in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about that time because there was communication with Nicholas during that time. So the first part of that I want to ask you about is through the commissary kiosk. It's pretty well known that people communicate
Is it
through that.
because, so, I want to say, like, my friends in jail, but I mean, I didn't talk to them when I got out of jail, so, like, you know, just to have people to talk to in jail, and they all said, oh, the guards don't know, like, totally talked, like, hook it up. And then there was another girl in there with me, and her name was Amanda, and she said that she had a friend in another pod, I think they call it, that Nick was also in that pod. So she was like, yeah, like, y'all can have three-way phone calls. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I just want to get out. Like, I just need to play it safe. She's like, well, like, I'm going to at least get his booking number for you and you guys can talk over commissary. And I was like, how do you do that? So she kind of, like, showed me. And apparently everyone did it. So I was like, okay, like, I mean, I'll at least say, like, you know, like, I love him and I hope he's doing okay. So I figured out how to do that.
Okay, so which way did it start first? Did
It
start
started
from
on the
his end?
commissary.
But it started on his end or it started on your end?
So I would say it started on my end because I had to log into his account because I got his booking number, I think. And so I logged on to his account, and, you know, you can write out words on it. And so I don't know how it started, but I probably just said, like, hi, like, do you get this, or something like that. And then I think he said, like, you know, how are you? And I was like, I'm doing fine, like, you know, like, how are you? Like I'm fine, like, I don't want him to worry about me. And then he started asking me, like, if I was going to talk. And I was like, because at this point I didn't know. So I was like, I don't know. No, I don't really remember quite what I told him.
Okay.
I just told him what I wanted to say from the beginning was just, like, I love you and I miss you, and, like, just hang in there. Because my head was all sorts of messed up. So I didn't know what was going to happen when I got out, if I even got out. So I was in a bad mindset at that time. And then it must have been, like, a few days later that same girl was on the phone with that guy, and she's like, Jackie, like, come here, like, your boyfriend's on the phone. And I was like, oh, like, really? And I was kind of, like, hesitant to do it, and she was like, yeah, like, come here. And so, you know, I had to, and I went, and I talked to him on the phone. I was just like, hey, like, you know, like, do you, basically, like, he had made code words. He told me code words, something along the lines of, like, something about sunglasses means, will you talk? Or, like, Betty asked about you being, like, have you talked? Or something along those lines. And I didn't really remember because I didn't really think that I would have to use them, you know, like, just, this is when him telling me stuff that I was just like, okay, honey, like, whatever. So I tried to do that, and he wasn't understanding. And so that's when I was like, are you gonna talk? Like, do you want me to talk? And then once I saw that he didn't care, that he was like, oh, I'm chilling, like, no, just keep, I forget what he said, something like, keep the path, like, just stay on the path. And that's when I was like, he really, like, doesn't get it, and he doesn't care about me, that he wants me to get out. So I regret that I did that because I could have gotten a lot of trouble for it, but I'm glad it happened because that's what kind of pushed me to realize that he's delusional and I need to do what I'm going to do to get out of here.
Okay. So let's talk about a couple things
Mhm.
along with that. So in the commissary, they're going back and forth on the kiosk. What does he message you back?
From which part?
So you did the commissary communication
Mhm.
before the phone communication.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know what, so you obviously said some things to him. What did he say back to you?
He asked me, will I talk? And I think I said no. I mean, I probably said no, but I did. So it was mostly just like, I love you, I miss you, and then, I mean, this whole, it only lasted about a few days, but it was mostly that. I don't really remember us talking about anything more than just like, how are you, and like little messages, because you can only type short messages. I can't recall like exact conversations.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if you just remember the gist of it, or if you don't remember anything about it, it's fine.
I mean, that was really the gist of it. And, you know, he asked me, will I talk? And I think I said something like, well, are you going to talk? And he said no. And I was like, oh, well, then I'm not either. Or something like that.
So clearly there was some discussion prior to that if A happens, then we do B. Correct?
I wouldn't say we, because that would technically mean I was on board with it. And I kind of just...
Okay, let's say you're not on board with
Yeah.
it. What is his, I don't say, instructions to you?
See,
What were you
like,
supposed to do
I
about
don't really, like, exactly remember the phrasing, but, you know, for weeks after he was murdered, I mean, it like, during those 12 weeks before we got arrested, like, he was always paranoid, and like, during that whole period, I remembered him telling me once or twice, you know, if I ever get arrested and they pressure you to talk, then say this code phrase. And I'm like, all right, like, you're not going to get arrested. You know, still kind of in the mindset, just humoring him. So I remembered that conversation before the phone call. And so that's why I tried to tell him on the phone call, but he seemed to have not been understanding. So then I just outright went and said it, like, do I talk? Because, I mean, I didn't want people around me to hear anything. So, and that's, he kind of, like, laughed it off, and that kind of pissed me off. Because it's like, this is serious. I'm in jail right now because of you, and you're just laughing. And that made me mad, and shortly after that, that's when I came in and talked to you guys, so.
Okay. But as far as the discussions prior to that, is he telling you not to talk to us?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he directing you at all at what to say to us? Or just that you don't know?
Not that I remember. Like, during the commissary communication, was he instructing me? Or
Well,
just
either
in
that
general?
or before you guys got arrested. I want to know what those conversations were like, because obviously, like you say, he's paranoid.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think he's probably going to say something like, "Jackie, here's what you do."
See, he would do that, but it was nothing like strategic, like detailed, like, you know, me and him and Corey would talk about it, like he would talk about it with us, like, if I ever got arrested, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Not really like instructions, but like, you know, you guys just do your path and like, you know, we'll try it, like, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember, like, I just remember him mentioning, like, if I got arrested, and Corey and I both were like, well, you're not getting arrested, so why are you so worried about this? And we were all paranoid for different reasons. Like, he was obviously paranoid the whole time because of him getting arrested, or maybe he thought that these people that he hired were gonna come back for him for the money. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was too, but I didn't really know any details, like, so I didn't really ask him about it because I didn't want to talk about it because I shut it out in my head. And I was also afraid that they would come back for the same reason Corey was afraid, because if they really came there for a job and she wasn't dead, would they come back? And like, I hate actually saying that out loud, but you know, that's why we were afraid. So we put up lights and we slept with guns and sure.
It was a tough time.
It was a really tough. It really was. I really am trying to get as far away from that as possible. And honestly, that's why I don't remember a lot of it, is because I really do try to shut it out in my head. And I mean, it just sucks. Like, just let me know if I'm ranting, but like, all I had was him, and it's like, I didn't have any friends when I got out of jail. Honestly, like, I almost want to say that the 3-month period after I got out of jail was worse than actually being in jail, because I had to start a completely different life than what I knew. I didn't have any friends. All my friends lived in New Jersey, and I was stuck living in a 1-bedroom with my dad with an ankle monitor. I had to be home at 9, and I didn't have anyone. And I really wasn't, you know, happy until I started school and I started working and I started making friends, and I made some really amazing friends that actually really care about me. So that's just awesome. So yeah, so like, I really don't want to look back at on that time. And you know, obviously, like, this whole situation for me, it's terrible. Like, it's a nightmare, but I think hadn't I got arrested, I wouldn't realize a lot of what I realize now. So, like, I try to look at the positives about it, because it's a lot of life lessons, and it's, like, I'm 20, and I feel like mentally I'm much older because of all that I've been through. So, I'm thankful for that.
You've probably heard that before. All right. Well, not to dwell on stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to play this audio for you.
Okay.
And I want to go through it. You know. Okay. I think that's the one I want. Probably. Let's see.
Hello? 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 Hey. Hello? Hello?
Oh,
Can you hear me? Hello?
I spliced it because it was somebody else's conversation. And y'all are going to miss it.
Hello? Hey. Yeah.
You good?
Hey, wait, whoever, okay. Wait, are you okay? Yes.
I'm good. Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Hey, I have court on June 20th.
For what? Bond hearing?
A hearing. So they lowered my bond so I can bond out.
Yeah, that's good, babe. That's awesome. You okay in
You
there?
okay?
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm fine. Are you sure?
Yeah, babe. I'm more concerned about you
Okay.
than anything.
Okay.
I love
Honey,
your voice.
You don't listen to anyone, okay? I'll be waiting for you.
Oh my god.
Hey, nothing's gonna happen. It's all good. Hey, chin up, babe.
Did you talk to Terry?
No? I mean, I have, but
No?
nothing new.
Are you gonna do anything next week?
No. We're waiting for you to do your bond hearing, and then we'll try to follow. It's all good.
Betty asked about you.
How?
Should I,
How did Betty ask?
should I tell her?
How did
Nick, should I tell her? Nick,
What?
think,
Did you hear me?
think.
Betty asked?
Yes. So, think.
Betty asked. I don't know. Oh. What?
Nothing, don't tell her anything?
About us getting married?
No, okay. Remember when I lost my sunglasses?
Yes.
Honey, what do I do?
Just keep your chin up, babe. I'm sure.
Okay, honey, I need you to know that I love you no matter what, okay? And I'll be waiting for you.
What do you mean?
Are you gonna stay in here, or are you gonna try to bond out?
Hey, before I forget, tell Amanda that Dre will call at 5. Okay?
Drew will call at 5. Drew will call at 5. Hey, honey,
Yes.
are you,
Chin up, baby. You got this.
apparently I have to say something. What? Honey?
Huh?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Do I talk? Do I talk?
Hey, no, honey, it's all good.
What?
No, baby. It's all good.
No?
It's all good, baby.
Honey, I need you to listen to me, okay?
Yeah. What's up? Charles. Yeah, Jessica said she left you.
Tell Drew Jessica said that he loves her. Drew? Tell Jessica. Jessica said tell Drew that she loves her. Okay.
Okay, cool. Hey, babe.
Baby.
Yes.
What?
Keep the course, okay?
What are you doing?
We talked about this.
Just wait for my hearing.
Yeah. Okay? We talked about this. Are you okay over there?
Hey. Yes, honey. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk to you. Okay, I love you so much.
I love you.
Hey, I love you. Stay strong. Okay.
You too.
I put Amanda back on phone. It was Alright, I'll put her back. Amanda!
See there?
Amanda!
It's great.
I didn't realize it was that long. Wow.
Okay, so let's go through that.
Okay.
Sunglasses is what?
Do I talk? I mean, to me, in that conversation right there, what I was trying to say was just, do I talk?
Okay.
In, I guess, code word, but where he says we talked about this, all I can think of is like that he wanted me, to not rat on him. Or like, he as he said, don't talk, don't tell him, don't tell y'all that he's had these intentions the whole time. I just never realized he was serious about it.
Okay, but keep the course. There's obviously some course. There's obviously some.
Yeah, to not talk to the detectives, to not give any information.
But if you're going to a bond reduction hearing, you guys go first and then we'll go.
I don't know what that was about.
What would they have? What does he have to offer? Like what would Nick have to offer? Like if you go first, then I'll go.
Well, probably because he knew who the shooters were.
Okay.
That's what I would assume.
So do you think he would actually give that up? If he's telling you
I
not
don't
to
know.
talk.
I mean, like, I don't know, because he's all like, stay the course, stay strong, don't say anything, but he doesn't realize how in deep we actually were, like, each of us. So, I mean, I don't know what him and those guys agreed on, but...
I wasn't really talking about their strategy, just from his side, what would he have been offering up if you guys talked about that?
We didn't talk about any of that kind of stuff. When he says we talked about this, what I get from that, and it seems like what I got from that in the phone call, was just to not give up any information, that he had talked about this for months, that he had planned this out, that we had gone to Austin before, but we were in totally different mindsets, where he apparently was serious about this, and where I was just playing along with it.
As we head to our last commercial break, is she being honest? Should they rip this proffer from underneath her feet and maybe make her spend 10 to 15 years in prison for her role? Let's listen to a little bit more. Maybe we can get a little bit better understanding what they should do. We know what they did, but what should they have done? We'll be right back.
If that makes any sense, is the best way I can explain it.
Okay. Betty, what does Betty refer to?
The same thing, just do I talk?
Okay. I'm curious about the expression chin up.
He did that to me before, so we had physically gotten arrested in Perry's parking lot. And he said, keep your chin up, like stay strong. And honestly, I don't know if that did have any deeper meaning, but I just took that as just how it is. Just stay strong and keep your chin up. Don't get yourself down, like you'll get through this. And that part, I didn't think that there was any deeper meaning or any code word to that.
Okay. No, baby, it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
So is that
same thing? Keep your chin up, like it's all good. Just
Okay.
this goes into the same thing as he didn't really understand really the severity of this. And I realized that after that phone call. Because I was shocked when he said, don't talk, because I always thought that if he really cared about me, then like, if something this bad would have ever happened, he would want me to go, to be on my own and do my own thing. And he would take the fall for me. But it's different because he was the sole person that actually did this, when in reality, I didn't have anything to do with this. So the fact that he still felt that way, you know, like, still have my back even though I fucked you over, that's what pissed me off.
Okay. So 6 days after that, you come talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you provide a lot of great information.
Mm-hmm.
You have another conversation with him later that day.
There's no way she talks to him and tries to help his case after the proffer agreement is put in place. There's just no way.
I don't believe so. On the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it?
Mm-hmm. I like that they think that we don't know about this.
No, I seriously don't remember.
That's cool.
Hello? Hey. You okay? Yeah, are you? Yeah, I'm good. Hey, do you talk to Mom? Yeah, I talked to her. No, I haven't. Really? Is she okay? I'm not sure. Rick and Harry say she is. Okay. Hey, you do what you have to do, okay? Hey, okay, but keep okay, okay? I will try. Alright, I love you, honey. Don't forget that, alright? Chin up, babe. We got this. I know. Alright, I love you. I love you. Hello?
I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
Honestly.
So why would you be asking if you talked to Corey?
Curiosity.
Okay.
Cause
That's who you're referring to, correct?
Yeah, his mom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not one of those things like, did you talk to Betty? Like, I really meant, like, did you talk to Mom?
Okay.
Because I didn't realize that they weren't in contact until after I got out.
You do what you have
Yeah.
to do.
You know, like, I wish he would have said that to me. So, I said that to him, just kind of like, well, mask goodbye, I guess. Like, do what you have to do, like.
Okay. To include tell the truth?
Well, of course.
Okay. Keep okay.
Did I say keep okay?
I think he said it to you. Yeah, I do. Okay. Chin up, we got this.
I hate that he says me. Because, like, in his head, like, I guess, like, in his head, like, he thought that I really was along with it. When, in reality, I had told him that I would leave him if he ever done something like that. If he ever murdered someone in general, not even his dad. Do you remember when I told you that, when he asked me months before? I told him, you know, like, that's crazy, that's not you, don't stop crazy talking, and he did, and he stopped, and then that's why I never took him seriously, and in his head,
Okay.
it was an us thing, but in reality it wasn't. I would have never let that happen. Like, I love my father more than anything in the world.
Ted.
Ted.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be crazy. We're going to go through the text messages and we're going to find out some really crazy stuff.
Now, some of this we've talked about,
Okay.
and some of it we haven't. But I would like to go over a couple of things. And if it seems like I'm kind of skipping around, that's kind of how my brain works. I hope you'll bear with me.
Yeah.
Anybody need a break or anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so I want to focus on some communication between y'all.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me do it this way. That's not bad. This time right before the murder is obviously extremely stressful.
Mm-hmm.
This, I can tell by a lot of things, and a lot of things that are in here. These are messages between
Right
you.
before the murder?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, and some others from other time periods.
Okay.
But so like for instance, this is from February 27th of 2018. So we're at just a few days before the murder.
Okay.
Why is it that Corey and Ted are just constantly calling him, texting him, wanting to talk to him,
The whole,
just over and over
from what
and over
I
and
remember,
over?
it was the whole money thing because he owed the money from investments. Like it was fair. Like they came to an agreement that he'd pay off his car insurance, and give I think Corey, what was it, like $1,000 a month from her $30,000 that she had initially invested in him, and he'd never paid them on time.
Okay.
So that's really where a lot of the fights came from. I mean, the big one in that December before that, like that was the one where I butted in. But after that, Nick didn't really involve me in any of it. It was kind of just between them.
Okay.
So he just didn't want to confront them about it because he didn't have the money, but he didn't tell anyone that.
So that's what it all boils down to, is they want the money, he doesn't have it. Okay. And this is right before the murder. So is he stressed?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, so we can look at these.
Mm-hmm.
He says to you, I said if mom doesn't call me by 12, I'm good.
Good how?
He says I'm good. Yeah, these are pretty much in order. And then you send him a couple of attachments, and one is some information on some property. So that's, the green is from you, the blue is Nicole.
Okay.
So you send her this little picture and stuff
Oh,
like
like
that.
little houses and stuff. Yeah.
And you guys talk about different places to live.
Yeah.
So he asks you, would you want to live in the Domain or in that area?
Yeah. I mean, we had dreams to, like, have cars and live in nice houses, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I had a bunch of stuff liked on Auto Trader, a bunch of cars that I wanted to have, but I knew that that wasn't attainable for me, not for a long time. I mean, the girl can dream, right? But with him it wasn't. With him it was like, well, I want this now. He even went to the point of like calling the GMC dealership to buy a Yukon Denali, and he had a whole spreadsheet of how he was going to spec it out, and like the tires and brakes and everything, and he came out to me. He's like, look, it's only $100,000 for everything I want, and I was like, is that a joke? Like, you can't be serious. So that's how his mind worked. But I mean, to me, it was just fun to look at houses and cars and stuff.
Okay.
I know. You're thinking just like me. Dad dies, brutally murdered, and we're car and house shopping. Can't see anything wrong with that.
But look at the timing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at February
Yeah.
27th. Okay, so sure, that'd be nice. He says, I'm used to South Austin, let's consider North Austin. And I'd like to know about this.
Okay.
He says to you, question, is there any immediate things my mother has over me? Car insurance, what else?
What else?
Why is he asking you that?
Oh, to cancel it? Because he was afraid that she would cancel it if he didn't pay her.
So he's curious what all Corey could do to him, basically, correct? If he doesn't do this, hold up his end of the financial bargain. Okay. And do you remember that as coming around that particular time?
It was
In
like,
February?
yeah, I mean, it was constant for a long time before that. Like, I know I keep going back to that fight in December, but like, it really is like kind of the peak point of like, he wasn't paying them back, and he was stressed over it because he didn't have the money, and he made it worse for himself by not telling anyone that.
So I think for the very first time, and I've seen this case on 48 Hours and places like that, but for the very first time, I think I'm seeing exactly what happened with Nicholas Shaughnessy. Let's see if you can figure it out. I'm not going to mention what I think it is, but there's one of those things that, you know, men can run into that can really put them in debt fast, really quick, run through a lot of money. What do you think it is? I think that might have been the motivation. Certain type of addiction.
So all this, like, oh, I'm afraid she's going to cancel my medical and my car insurance, like, that was normal.
Okay. She hasn't called back like she said she would, so there's a huge probability she's going to do something. What would she do?
Cancel his
Stuff?
cancel his insurance.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard her threaten to do that, which she has every right to. I mean, she pays for it, and he's not paying her back for it. So, you know, he's an adult. He can pay for his own car insurance, but she's doing him a favor. So,
Okay.
but he's not paying her back. So, and I think she did at one point cancel his Shell card because they were even still paying for his gas, but he wasn't paying his gas bill, so she canceled his Shell credit card. And he was like pissed about it, and I kind of told him, like, just don't worry about it. Like, we'll pay for our own gas. It's gas.
February 27th, Denali cost for insurance $268 a month.
Yeah, that's the car I was talking about.
Okay, the Yukon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was so adamant about it. Like, he really thought that he was gonna get it, and I mean, I let him dream because I told him. Like, I was like, you know we don't have this money.
And during these conversations, you have him updating you on the parent situation. It says missed call again. And you say, make up something.
I just didn't want them to fight. To be honest.
That's at 2:14. At 3:02, it tells you missed another call and a text from mom. And he says, I didn't answer. And you respond, say you'll get it to her tomorrow. Don't ignore it. So he's asking you over and over, basically, what do I do? What do I tell her? Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. I mean, reading these texts definitely jogs my memory more.
Okay. He's talking about a meeting with, or basically Tad, let me get this right. Tad wanted to meet with Nicholas and Ted at their house the weekend that the murder happened.
Like for dinner or for like discussions about
Well,
investments?
that's another thing that he's freaking out about is, he's really trying to figure out why Tad wants to meet with Ted and him at the house.
What did I reply?
He says, let's meet at their place. They should be good. Something is up. My gut is tingling. Meet there and not for dinner. What the hell? And you say, think they are planning something together? He says, I don't know. I'm sketched. And you say to ask Dad. And he says, Mom's at work, which is weird considering she never goes. Apparently Ted was short with him. And he's going on and on about why Tad would be talking to Ted and wanting to meet. Do you remember that?
Not in particular, but I mean, I know that them three had conversations before about investing in him, and like I don't know why he was so sketched out about it, because we had dinner with Tad and Mickey all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have, if he was so worried, it must have been something about money.
Okay, nothing that he articulated to you.
No.
Now, this goes on, and I don't know what was going on in the household, but it seems like there was more than meets the eye. There's something going on financial that's not just regular debt. It just seems something's off about this conversation. Who's this Tad guy? He's going to meet with Ted and with Nick? What is going on here? So, I mean, obviously I want to be careful about speculating, but you can. But this went on and on for hours, these text messages. And if you want, I can publish the text message area separately, and you can watch and listen to all these secrets being uncovered, because there's a lot of them. I'll let you decide if you want me to do that. You have to put down in the comments if you guys want that done. I'll post it by itself as a separate video. But this last one, and I'm going to make this the last one, has a very interesting thing that pops up. And I think you're going to be like, whoa. And it deals with yours truly. Not me, but her.
On March 26th, of course, after the murder, talking about the Yukon at the dealership. And did he tell you this dealership's in Conroe?
Yeah.
Why would it be in Conroe versus, you guys are living in Austin right now?
Well, he'd started looking at it when we lived in College Station. And I told you about his friend Jordan. I think his friend Jordan was from Conroe. So I think that they went somewhere in Conroe one time, and they went to look at the car. And Nick really liked that car, and he's been talking to the people at that dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So, and from what he's told me was that these people that they had the understanding, like what he wanted to do to it and all the prices and stuff, and I think that there was also like a lift company that would do the lift and the brakes and stuff in Conroe also.
So it says I'm approved for $40,000 down. So $40,000 on March 26th.
Did I say good, or did I say like?
You're just talking about financing, how much per month, blah, blah, blah.
See, like even at that time, I know $40,000. I can't just call Holly and be like, hey, I'm gonna buy another car.
Well, then you say I'd rather put like 50 down and pay over 3 years.
Probably, yeah. I'm just humoring him.
4 days later, are you waiting for the cops to come get you? If I get arrested, don't freak out. I'll be fine. I love you. That's from you.
What date was this?
March 30th.
Oh.
What's going on?
On March 3rd or the
March
30th?
30th.
Oh, 30th?
Mm-hmm. You're telling him if I get arrested, don't freak out. I'll be fine.
Was this... It was before y'all pulled us over. I'm just trying to think what happened on that day. Was this the day? Oh, I think this was the day that we spent all day at Perry's office because what time was this? 10:30 a.m. Yeah, this was the day we spent all day at Perry's office because it was 4 weeks after, 4 times 28. Yeah, this must have been that day that he was afraid he was going to get arrested, and then I said, like, if I get arrested, like, don't worry. But in reality, I really didn't think I would be, so I'm just saying that to him so he wouldn't freak out, apparently. And he says it's not as bad, it just got more expensive. And I think that might have been the same day that I hired Bill, because I forget what time frame, but I knew y'all were looking into me as well, obviously, because you brought me down here and looked in my car and my phone, and I just, of course it's a possibility that I would be arrested, so that's all I'm really saying is just, don't worry.
I want to talk about this.
Okay.
This is from Nick. Spencer Roll. And you respond with false confessions happen.
I think I'm gonna leave it right there. If you want to see the complete list of the text message secrets, I could make another video. But for now, your boy Nicholas Shaughnessy would receive 35 years with the possibility of parole for orchestrating the hit that killed his father, Ted Shaughnessy. Ariel Smith would accept the plea deal and get the same 35 years as his co-conspirator Nick. And likewise, Johnny Leone would only get 35 after the DA dropped the capital murder charge and only sentenced him for simple murder. The question is, what about Jacklyn Edison? Well, she got a solid 120 days. That's it. The question is she undercharged, overcharged, or do you still need to see the rest of those darn text messages to figure this thing out? I'll let you guys sort that one out down in the comments. It's been a pleasure narrating this case for you, and I'll see you again maybe sooner than you think. Right back here on They Caught Me. Till next time.